Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Alex Antuna, and I just wanted to kind of show what I've been working on. This is a railgun for Project Winners. It's a collaboration project, but it's kind of in free time had been working on. But I learned a lot of things working on this. I know plasticity, there's certain things that I know to do, and there's some things that were a little bit more challenging, and the challenge was mainly this grip. Usually, I can do standard stuff where it's like, let me pull up the video real quick to show a little bit of some of the process. So I'm going to rewind a little bit. That was the concept art behind right here. But, just basic shapes and cutting and getting angles and stuff. Pretty straightforward, right? I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. This is some of the work in progress. You get your shape, extrude it out, chisel it away, cut it away. That's easy stuff, right? But the grip is where it kind of got a little bit more complicated, because I needed to start using like lofts, and then learning about G1, G2, G3, and then the continuity and how they work, and why some areas weren't working and some did. So it kind of came around to where I was just like, all right, why does this work here but didn't work here? And then breaking it down of getting pieces to be a little bit more fluid. And so you can see here that, like, I'm just doing basic shapes, right? It's easy stuff. This stuff, making a shape, cutting out, making another shape. And I started learning that in plasticity, it's almost like you can make mistakes. So if you cut something or make something, you can always kind of close it up or fix it or something. There have been models where I went too far and I needed to remove and then go back and then re-evaluate. So I'm just kind of skipping ahead. You can kind of see basic shape cylinders, using the shape tool to kind of edit and get a little bit more. Since that image was kind of AI, I had to do a little bit more interpreting of what it meant and what it wanted. So let's go back to the plasticity. I'll show a little bit more. So the trouble parts had come in here. So let me turn on. Let me see the curves. Let's see all these curves. So isolate. So this was some of the shapes that I had used, but after I had gone this route, I had to actually like extrude it out and then build parts to kind of bridge back to each other, to kind of come here and then cut, and going from that way. I didn't get to record everything because something about my OBS started crashing, and so I started losing files. I did an update and it finally fixed, so hopefully it won't happen again. Well, hopefully. But this is about where it's at in plasticity. I exported it out to Blender to kind of do the unwrapping and going from there and getting a little bit cleaner mesh. Usually when you go from here to there, it's not going to be a perfect topology, unless you just want to retopologize everything to kind of get a little bit more cleaner. But if you're going to just export as you got, like, it's not an animated object, it's a hard surface object, so it didn't really matter. The next step after exporting from Blender, I went to Marmoset, and so I started adjusting some cameras. This is camera 1, looking at the little scope thing, and then there's camera 2. I had different lighting setups for each one. Going from there, it's a little different. Here, you can see right here. Let me go into perspective so you can see it. You can see that the wireframes, about how plasticity gives, but it worked out. The unwrapping wasn't too painful. I used Zen UV unwrap, I think that's the name of it, and went from there. But you can see that it actually did pretty decent for whatever, for what this is. It was just getting the UVs, and then after that, kind of get them in there. Let's turn off the guides. This one, so wireframe off, so you can kind of see the gun. So I started texturing in here, started adding the little things and going down here, the little bullet, the rail, top wing. So if I go to the texturing, top wing, it's gonna load it up. It said coated powder So let me go to perspective so I don't ruin my camera. I think they're all locked anyway, so you can't really not damage, but mess up the camera. So you can see that. Put a little bit of scuff. Oh, I won't save. That's what I won't do. So let's go ahead and get on the camera. We won't save. That's what we'll do. Let's unlock it. Let's just unlock this. Let's get a little free flow so you can see with the lighting and stuff, and I can rotate around. And as you can see, I got the actual where you can change the perspective. Let's see, focus, turn it off. So now we got this, and we can rotate around, start to see how it looks in the color. We can rotate the lighting around. If I turn it all the way up, hopefully it doesn't stutter on OBS, but let's try it. Let's give it a little bit more rendered, so you can start to see how it looks in there. Pretty happy with the model. It was fun. It was a good challenge with the grip to kind of get the flowy lines and then the cuts and then the other inset, and then try to export it out to texture it. It's a little get outside that comfort zone of just a little more organic modeling of hard surface modeling, I guess, if that's the way to call it. Soft or hard surface modeling, because it's more like, that's what I love about plasticity, is because it's a little bit of both, right? It's like a hybrid. You can soften edges and get things a little bit more. I did update last night. I updated to the latest version, so I went ahead and did an upgrade so I can get the AO a little bit in here. So if you go back and forth, go there, you can see a little bit of the AO setting in pretty good, looking pretty cool. Look at that. Looks a little, like your models look a little more refined, instead of jumping back and forth between Blender and trying to get a look to see what it looks like. But it's not too bad. Look at this. So you can start to see. I even did the magazine modeled here, but it wasn't needed for the animation, so it's just, I didn't cut it out. I just left it for another time if really needed to be. But look at, it's just straightforward, and it was fun. This is a fun project. It was late nights and just kind of working on it here and there and moving forward, and figuring out this part was probably the trickiest. But now that I've done it, I know more or less what I need to do to go forward. But I just wanted to kind of touch base a little bit. I haven't been posting much because it's just been a little hectic and busy and stuff. So let's turn that off, and then so if we go here, you can see back and forth, before, after. Pretty cool, huh? You get the texturing. This camera's a little different lens. Let's go a different lens right here. This lens, and so you can start to see lens a little bit better. Unlock it. It doesn't matter. We're not gonna save. So yeah, just put that little detail on there and start having a little fun. I had a little bit more. So I wouldn't mind doing another weapon. Probably be a lot faster doing it again in plasticity. Plasticity, like I said, it's a fun program, but doing cuts like this, easy. That's easy stuff. But once you start getting to see these weird surfaces that curve and want to connect and be a little more fluid, and it's cool when you pull it off. And so I was like, okay. So I started learning a little bit more with it. So I feel a little more confident moving forward in plasticity again, and just going with that. But even with these new updates, I'm looking forward to this kind of look. Look at that. So pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to put a little video this morning, just kind of get something going, just trying to get the momentum going of posting more for anybody who follows this channel. But hopefully everybody's doing well. I'm hoping to get another video out. My son brought a tablet for a Wacom tablet, and been looking forward to use that with one of these programs that I got for painting and stuff. So looking forward to that. I just hadn't had that window, but hopefully that window comes soon. But hope everybody has a good day out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.